We have an update now on that fatal fire in Ontario. Fire officials have confirmed 4 members of one family, including a toddler and a teenager, are dead after a house fire in the community of Port Colborne this morning.
But the mayor just a little while ago saying, listen, this is a mandatory evacuation for Zone A areas. If you're not familiar with Zone A, those are the low-lying areas. Anyone who is living by the water in an area that floods, those are areas where you must evacuate.
Hey there, and welcome back to my channel, Weirdly O.C.D. The video that you're watching right now is occurring for 2 different reasons. 1, a subscriber of mine by the username of 808blessed1 requested in a comment that I do a video on disaster preparedness. And 2, the more I thought about what I wanted to talk about in this video, the more I realized how useful and helpful it would be for myself to learn more about being prepared and sharing that information with Tony, my family, my parents, and friends should a disaster strike. First off, what do you think the most common mistake in a disaster is? If you guess not being prepared beforehand, you're correct. It's important to get yourself organized with your plans and then review and practice those plans with all the members of your household and your family, so everyone under your roof knows the procedures and plans to help keep everyone, including themselves, safe. Disasters are stressful enough on their own, so the last thing you want to happen is mass confusion and chaos when trying to get out of a horrific situation that you may already be in. Now, a lot of the tips and information that I'm going to be giving in this video can be used practically by anybody, no matter what type of situation you find yourself in. However, certain tips or scenarios may not apply to you depending on your geographical location. Let's begin. Firstly, I want you to go to ready.gov, which is a government-ran website to help anybody in America prepare for disaster. And ready.gov contains an amazing tool, which is an edible family communication plan. This includes all important information that you would need, such as contact information for your family members, first responder teams, police, fire, and ambulance, doctors and pharmacies, veterinarians, along with instructions on evacuation plans for specific emergencies inside and outside your home, as well as inside and outside of your neighborhood if either of them happen to be inaccessible during or after a disaster. After you fill out this document with all your family members, make sure that you put it in a place in your home that is centralized for everybody, such as your refrigerator or a communication bulletin board in your kitchen. Also, make sure to periodically remind family members of its location, but also the information in it so they'll know what information is available should an emergency arise. Also, take note that individuals that may join your household after you've filled out this family communication plan should not only be made aware of it, but their information should also be added to it. Now there are a few things that you should definitely be aware of when planning for a disaster and during a disaster. Make sure that if inclement weather is on the rise, that all cell phones in your home are being charged. Should you need to communicate with people outside your home, such as family member or friends, to let them know your whereabouts and if you're okay, as well as possibly needing to call for emergency assistance. I recommend never letting your battery go under 50%. Also, it's a smart idea to stabilize a central phone number for all of your family and household members to call, so everyone is able to check in and make sure that everybody is okay, even if communication lines are down in your particular city or just a portion of the city where you live. First of all, I would recommend that you start stocking away some cash now if you haven't already. During disasters, ATMs may not be functioning and your local bank may be closed due to damage. You'll want to have some cash on hand in case you need to buy necessities such as gasoline. And if you happen to find an open store, toiletries, food, prescriptions, etc. Personally, I would feel comfortable having at least $1,000 on hand in cash. Also, it's critical to keep important paperwork accessible in case you need to grab it in a hurry. Sure, a fireproof safe is always a good idea. However, I would recommend saving all of your important paperwork, such as birth certificates, death certificates, mortgages, deeds, wills, trusts, social security cards, insurance cards, driver's licenses, all onto a USB drive and having it hang on a hook or push pin right next to your family communication plan. That way, if you need to rush out of your home in a hurry, you have all those important documents in case they happen to get destroyed physically in a disaster. Before everyone leaves for the day, make sure that everybody in the house knows where everybody will be that day, such as school, work, or running errands. If you're not going to be in a central location until you get home for the day, such as shopping, let a family member or household member know where you plan to shop. The reason for this is if something does happen and communication does become compromised, you'll still have an idea of where all your family members or household members are located, and you may be able to locate them a little bit quicker had you not known what their plans were for that day. Do you have pets? Individuals with disabilities? A language barrier? If there are certain circumstances like these, even though these are just a few examples, these must be taken into consideration when planning for any disaster. For instance, did you know that most shelters won't accept pets unless they're service animals because too many people have pet allergens? If you have a specific circumstance surrounding any of the members of your household, make sure to find out details of how it should be handled during the disaster itself and during the recovery when you're planning ahead with everybody. But I wanted to show you how in-depth your plans really do need to be no matter what disaster you are preparing for. And that these plans need to be organized and on the ready because disaster strikes when you least expect it. You can always visit ready.gov, which is a fantastic resource for preparedness, ideas. But with that, I hope you enjoyed today's video and I will see you all on Wednesday. Have a great day. Bye-bye.